All right. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be going through the timed question for Codebusters. Now you will see this question on any regional, invitational, state, national level test. Whatever level you're on, you will see this timed question. It's going to be the first it's going to be the first question that appears in your test packet. And this is kind of a special one. When you open the test packet, the proctors will give you a 10-minute countdown where if you finish this question within 10 minutes, raise your hand and the proctor comes over and checks to see if you're right or not. If you finish early before the 10-minute timer runs out and you get the question correct, you get a bonus amount of points on top of the on top of the 200 points that you get for finishing this question regularly. So this question says, a quote from Oliver Edwards has been encoded as an aristocrat. What does it say? When you have solved it, raise your hand so that the time can be recorded and the solution checked. So I am going to walk you guys through how I would solve this question. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm going to make myself a little smaller and make the question a little bigger. So in doing this, there's three things that I notice. First thing, there we go. The first thing, am I still on the wrong layer? There we go. All right, first thing is the one-letter words. I noticed that here, here, and here. So we know that these can either be the letter I or A. And so we have two of our letters basically kind of given to us. The second thing is that I see a word with an apostrophe in it. So a pause for apostrophe. It's usually, we know that it's probably either going to be a possessive word like man's or cats, or a contraction like don't, won't, or can't. Excuse my handwriting, I'm writing on an iPad. It's not used to doing this. But in these two things, I think we have some pretty good starting points. So let's start with the one letters. And let's, first of all, start at the one letter that's at the beginning of the phrase. So we know that this is a quote. And lots of times, this is just something that I've noticed for doing this event over the years. They'll give you either a quote related to science or an inspirational quote most of the time. And I just have a hunch that this one will start with the letter I, because it makes more sense to me to have a statement that has I think, I feel, I want, I blah, 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 rather than A, because in everything that I've noticed over the past few years, it will likely be the letter I to start a quote. So let's try that out just to see. So we have the letter C as I. We have 8 of those. So let's see. I, and then I. So if this letter is an I, then by process of elimination, we know this letter has to be an A. So let's go through all of our H's. We have the A's here. So A, let's see, where else? A, I think that might be it. Yep, that's it. So in doing that, we already have our one-letter words figured out, hopefully. So we can check that off. Now we can move on to the apostrophe word. As I said earlier, the words usually will either be possessive, like man's or cats or something like that, or there'll be a contraction. So in this sentence, judging off of our context clues, the word before it is I. I think that because I comes before it, it is not going to be a possessive word because it doesn't really make sense for it to say I man's or I cats. Whereas it usually will make more sense for it to be I don't, I won't, I can't. So I think we're going to try the last letter as a T. So this last letter will usually either be a T or an S most of the time, 9 times out of 10. But in this case, it's going to be a T. So A, going to code to T. Let's go through our quote and see what else we can do. Feel free to pause and catch up and try to figure it out at any time if you feel like it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's 6 T's. So we can do a little more with this apostrophe letter, or this apostrophe too. This apostrophe clue as well. So looking at an apostrophe, the apostrophe always takes the place of the letter it's replacing. So instead of can not, it's can't with an apostrophe. So the apostrophe replaces the O. So it's can't. If that makes any sense. Oops. So with the last word being, or with the last letter being T, we can safely assume that the letter before it is going to be an N because it's can't or don't or won't. We know that that last part of the contraction is a not. So it's cannot, do not, won't. N-T. So knowing that, we have 6 U's. We can go ahead and fill that in. So we have, look at us, we've already got a word there with in. U, there's an N, there, N, and N. So now we have our last word. Cool. All right. Now from here, there's one special thing. There's one word that we know that only one letter can fit. That is this one and this one right here. Whenever you have T and then 2 letters that are the same letter following after, like A-I-I, we know exactly what this one's going to be. And as a little English trick for you guys, if you see T with 1 letter after that, you know that that word is always going to be, I want to see if you guys can figure it out. There's only one word in the English alphabet that this can be, and it is 2. So if you ever have T and then 1 letter after that, you know that that word is going to be 2. And this AII, that will also be 2. So we have double confirmation that I is going to be O. We have 8 of those. Sweet. So I, O, O, and then O, O. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I missed one. Sorry. There we go. Next thing. If you can pause it and figure it out from here, all the power to you, but I'm going to go ahead. So we have this chunk of word right here. It's I, something, ont, something, N-O something. Actually, that's that right there. So there is a common phrase, and you can kind of use your context clues to figure this out. I blank ont blank N-O. There's something a little special about this one. When it's a guy talking, and we know that he's talking in first person using I. A common thing that we can think of is I don't or I won't. So let's try for a second. Let's go in and try I won't. So I won't. So that means the R is W. Let's see, where's our other R? Now we see this right here, this string of letters. That should raise some red flags. I don't think that there's any words in the English language that start with a T have an I in the middle, and end in a W. So, Codebusters, it's a lot of guess and check. So if you're wrong, that's perfectly okay. You can go back and fix it, which is what I love about this event. So let's undo our handy dandy undo button and try another word. So it's not won't, it's not can't, because there's an O right here. Let's try don't. So I don't. Try D for R. I don't. And then boom. This makes a lot more sense than T blank, I blank, W. This could be a word like third. So we know for sure that there is a word in the English language that could be. Awesome. So next step with this little string of words. I don't blank NO. Sometimes you get lucky. You stumble across a homonym. So if you read this straight across without the blanks, it could be I don't know, cluing you in that this could be I don't know. So sometimes you'll get lucky in Codebusters with stuff like that. But is it really luck? Or is it you using common sense and context clues? So let's go in with our J as our K and our Y as our W. Now you'll see I'm using the frequency table quite a bit in this. That'll help you out later on down the road. So J, K. See, where's our other J? Right here. And then Y codes to W. So Y, there's a W right there. There's a W right there. There's one more right there. So looking on further down the string of words, I don't know blank ow. Huh. Wonder what that could be. Can you guys think of a word that fills it, or a letter that fills in ow? I don't know blank. That makes sense. I can think of a bunch of words that end in OW, but they don't make sense in this phrase. Like, I don't know cow. I don't know pow. I don't know, what is it? Yow. That's not a word, but I don't know how. Sometimes talking it through out loud helps you out quite a bit. So V, oh, we have 5 H's. That should help us. H, one right there. V, next to H. There, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Got one more. Where is it? Did I get it already? Nope, right there. All right, cool. So let's see. You got that string. Figured out some of our context clues. We've looked through the apostrophe word. Got the convention 2 right there. What do we want to do next? Let's see. I like looking at this word right here, the YHN. Now, you have words like wad, war. Let's see what else we got. Was and way. Of these words, which one do you think would be the most common? I'm gonna go with was, because that's a verb and it helps us quite a bit in Codebusters. Look out for the was. So let's try an S right here. Actually, let's just go through these and see, because there's something special that I want you to look at with these right here. Let's try Y. Let's say way. So N, Y, and then YY. There's no words, or there's no letters, I'm sorry, there's no words that are going to be ending in a double Y right there. So it can't be way. Let's cross that up. Let's try wad. Aside from wad not being a common word and us already having D, N blank DD, no words that start with that one. And then war. See, same thing. No words are going to be ending in an RR like that. So by process of elimination, that leaves us with was. So n blank ss. That's a lot more common than n blank yy. Sorry, n blank yy. So let's see what we can do now. N, S, we have 5 S's. There's one right there. N, S. There's another right there. We have 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So, where to go now? All right. N blank SS. We have used our A, haven't used our E, and our used A, used I, and U. I can't really think of any words that end in N-U-S-S. So words like happiness, those, that N-E-S-S, the E-S-S, will be a very common thing, good thing for you guys to know. So we'll put that blank S-S, E-S-S at the end of a word. That's a common thing that you will see. So we're going to go with E-S-S on that one. Let's fill it in. Let's see T. And if you'll notice in the front of your test packet too, T having 9 possibilities, that's likely going to be an E. An E is the most common letter in the English alphabet. So lots of times you can look to see your frequency table. It'll help you out. Whichever one has the most, it has a very good chance that that letter is going to be an E. So let's go with an E. Let's fill in everything else. E, 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 T, E, T, E, T. There we go. And there we go. I think that's all. Yep. Okay, cool. So we have our E filled in now. And now we've got plenty of options to go for here. I'm going to try this word right here. We have T blank I E D. Looking at all your letters in the English alphabet, there's only one letter that makes this one work. Tried. So we're going to undo what we just did. And, oops, sorry. Fill in R for M. So I blank tried. So R. M is R right there. Okay, cool. Now we're cooking, I think. So this phrase right here, I blank tried. What do we think this word is? One that'll make sense in the context of everything. I think it's have. I have tried. X only has 1, so that doesn't help us out too much for the rest of the puzzle. But we've got quite a bit to work with now. So let's see. Here's another thing. With this word right here, we see that it ends in blah, blah, blah. I, N, blank. Very common thing. I, N, G. We know a bunch of verbs that end in ing. Running, jumping, swimming, hiding, scaring, writing. Lots of things end in ing. So if you see an I and an N, or an N and a G, or an I and a G at the end of the sentence, you can probably fill in that third letter. So let's see. D. Oh, that doesn't help us much either. D and G do not help. All right. Let's see. Then we have an S right there. I'm going to erase this too. Where do we want to go now? F. This right here. Much like the T blank, there's only one letter that fills in the E blank. So run through your alphabet. Let me know which one. Oh, I lied. There are few words that end in, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm lying. I am wrong on this one. I was wrong on how many words there are in the English alphabet that have this pattern. And I believe I see two. So we either have B or we have me. I believe that's all of them. Or we. But because we've already used our W, can't be we. So looking right here, let's try, because we have an I, it might make sense that there's a me in here. So let's try me. Taking that star to this word right here, there's no vowel in this word. And the only vowel we have left is a U. M-U-T, that's not a word. So we know that this cannot be me, and it must be B. Let's see. Erase that. Erase that. Erase this as well. 2. Oh, that's an E. Getting ahead of myself here. So F must be a B. There's one more. Oh, now we have a completed word. Breaking. Using the logic that I just had with this one, we know that there's one vowel left, and it's U. So this word, B blank T, does not have a vowel, so that's got to be a U. So L has to be U, giving us 2 more. All right, got a U right there. So let's read what we've got so far. I have tried to in blank, blank to be a blank, but I don't know how blank was blank breaking in. Let's see. Where to now? I think that we should try this one right here. I have tried to in blank, blank. We could have tide, tile, time, time, tire. I think that's all of them. And the only one that makes sense that we haven't used, we've used tide. We can't have time. We have used our N and our D already. I don't think tile would make sense here. So let's try time. Now let's use our M. So I have tried to in blank time. This could be, what word starts with an M, M, and ends in another one that we haven't used. We know that every word has to have a vowel. So in my time, using Y as a vowel there, then we can fill in Q as a Y. From here on out, we can get this word, A blank ways, always, P, L. That makes sense. So P, where else are our P's? There's one right there. There's another one right there. So I think this is a good one to go to next. So we have blank fullness. I think looking at other words like joyfulness, happiness isn't fit that one, joyfulness, something else like that. I can't say without giving out the word. Something fullness. So K, fullness. If we have cheerfulness, we know that the first letter is going to be C. So cheerfulness. And then that leaves us with one word left. It's this the big one right here. Kilo, so, her. That word is going to be philosopher. There's not much you can do if you don't know what that is, other than guess and check. But let's read through and see if it makes sense. I have tried to in my time to be a philosopher, but I don't know how cheerfulness was always breaking in. That makes sense to me. Does it to you guys? Some of the quotes might not be the most they might not make the most legitimate sense, but if they read like an English phrase, I think that is perfect for Codebusters. So please let me know in the comments or email me if you have any questions. This is one of the timed questions. I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope that you guys got some good learning out of this. And yeah, let me know if you need anything. I hope all of your testing goes well. I will see you guys in a later video.